So hi, my name is Oliver. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Olidias Care. I'm very proud to introduce to you our new EMR system. I also want to thank our team in India for the hard work they have been doing in the past month. This is just a quick video that will introduce you to the system. When you first log into our system, you come to this page. It is considered a dashboard where you can see as you can navigate here the logo that will take you to the home page. You can use this little icon to search for client. This one will show the map with all clients. This in this area you have your information as the login user. You have to make sure you are the right person. You can edit your account, you can view your personal information, you can access your account where you can make changes. You can have the same access here in this area as you will see, and also you can see some other information, what we call announcements here. And then naturally, you can navigate the system by using these particular icons here. If you are a manager, you can see all of them, but regular user will see just part of this part here. And then naturally, there are more icons, but you can log out of the system using this particular button here. But to provide clinical services, you need to access first your client, and you have two options. You can click here and start typing your client here, and then on the list there you can only see the client that are assigned to you, but you can also pick from the list and just type here. For example, there's a client called Kimberly Jackson. I click here to choose the client, and then as soon as I choose the client, the interface change where I can see my client information here up here next to my information as the caregiver, and also naturally in this main area that you see here in front, we can post information about the client and anything that you need to know when you log in. So now on the left side, you have a wide range of areas where you can work. You can click at this button here and you can navigate through the chat and give your medication to the chat, and you can also use a calendar for it. On this area, you have your treatment, you have your narcotics here, you have the file, you can check the appointment, and most important for many of us, you can also submit your timesheet using the list view or the calendar view, and you can check your schedule. We will introducing a new schedule there. If you click on it, you will be able to see your schedules. And then there are other areas here that you'll be able to see still. If you want to submit your clinical notes, you can click right here, and then you can see all the notes will be here, and you can click on the clinical note to submit your clinical notes. So this is pretty much in a nutshell the main operations that we would do in a system. It's pretty easy. It's very similar to the previous system. So now let me show you a little bit what has changed in the medication. So when you go to the medication and also naturally the treatment and also partially in the narcotics. So when you go to the medications and then you go to the chart of the medication, um, um, you can see there's current medication, the medication for the shift, and also you can check your maybe all the medications that are available for the patients, and you can click the search. So when you click the search, you can see the list of medication the patient doesn't have a lot here, but there and also not naturally the non-manager don't see that. But just one quick thing which is more important is that you can check this medication if you have many of them, all of them due at the same time. You can change the date because the date is set by the care manager. That is the due date of the medication, and you have probably one of the options that will be the most popular, the ability to submit them all medication in one time. You don't have to do it one by one. And I also want to let you know that when you submit the medication, that medication would automatically be removed from the chart. That means it's already given. And that is also one good thing with the system. But you could also use the calendar to submit your medication. On the calendar, naturally, you will see medications that are set up by the care manager. All your medication that are set up by the care manager and have not been given either through the chart or through the calendar or will appear red. You can use the chart that we checked before to give the medication, but you can also use the calendar to give medication. You just click here and you can see it loads the medication here, and then it gives naturally you can still change the time of the medication and the amount you gave, but he takes the medication as prescribed by the care manager or given by the care manager. So what you just have to do is to click here to submit your medication, and then the medication will turn green. That means it's submitted. So you can see here it's turned green. I also want to add that you can choose to unsubmit the medication or make any changes. If you click here, it will remove the medication submission if you made a mistake. And then at that point, the medication will turn back red. So that means it is no more submitted. So that is one important part in the medication and the narcotics and the treatment. And in any ways, when we see a medication red, that means it was not given. So you got to review all medications from your shift and make sure it's not red. So another part in the treatment is the same. And also we have PRNs. They will not appear here, but I just want to say that if you submit PRN medication, they will appear blue on the MAR, but they will not automatically appear because they are not set up by the care manager. They don't have dates. And then finally, I will go through a little bit through the timesheet. It is a very important part of it. You can to submit your time. You click the add time, where you use the same way that you had to submit your time. But there is a little bit of a change here. You can put your start time, you can put your um, end time. Maybe I put 10:40 here. But there is one little change, which is a category here of the medication, of the timesheet. In other words, you cannot overlap times on the calendar or on the time slot if they are the same category. For example, you cannot have two employees working at the same time if it is considered regular hours. In other words, one of the time have to be at a orientation or at a training. So the system will not accept overlapping. So in the same category. So if you think you work a little bit longer and the other person comes, if you know you have to overlap, that means maybe you spend time on training, maybe you did orientation, maybe it's family time or anything. It has to be different categories. If not, the system will not take it. And that is one big part of it. And the second part will be also from the calendar on the timesheet. In that calendar, it is a new feature in a system that will show the timesheet, or what we call the time blocks, based on the scheduler. So that means you're going to see the schedule, and then the schedule will be used to set up the time. And then that is how it will be submitted. So I will show you that feature probably at a later time when we're gonna have the the scheduler in place. So that was probably the introduction video, and then we still have to thank our team in India. And then if you have any more questions, we'll be available for you. So thank you. Okay, bye bye. Mhm.